Oakland, Anna May Wong.
Do that?
You want to wake up the whole town. Come on. We've got to get down to the docks.
Let's give you that, Mark. We can't get away.
Shut up. We shook them.
We'll never make it. We got no money, no food.
Hey, see that old freighter anchored out there? Well, there's probably just one dickhand on watch. And I can slit his throat easy enough. Maybe you'd like a demonstration.
No, please.
Shut your mouth about quitting.
I just don't see how we can do it.
If we can get to Noumea, we're home free. There's no girl there who'll cough up plenty for a little silence. We did some business a while back in Singapore. Enjoying the night?
Oh, I wish it would never end. Of course, I'm anxious to get to Noumea and see Mother.
Well, she's anxious to see you. She told me to bring you right home, regardless of wind, regardless of weather, regardless of sea.
I thought I was almost home when I got off the plane, but we've been sailing for nearly 2 days now.
Well, the Pacific's a pretty big place. It's one of the best things about it.
Have we much farther to go?
This wind holds, we'll be in Noumea tomorrow morning.
You know, This is such a different world from Paris. Nothing in it seems quite real to me yet.
You'll get used to it.
I suppose so. But to be going home to a place I've never seen on a tropical island. What's it like, Noumea?
Well, how do you feel?
Lovely beaches and native canoes.
Well, I hate to disillusion you, but it's a little different than that.
Well, please tell me.
Well, instead of native canoes, you have a harbor full of freighters.
Is Noumea so large as that?
25,000 people at the last count.
I suppose I should have known from Mother's letters. But she tells me so little of herself or how she lives.
She lives very well. Well, I've got to take Oliver off the wheel. Do you want to sail the tiki?
Oh, would you let me sail the tiki?
Come on, be my guest.
Oh, I feel it moving.
Well, that's the flow of the water against the rudder. See, it's called the weather helm. For a while, you get used to it. You'll be able to steer it by the feel.
You love this ship, don't you?
Of course I do. Look at her.
It's a lovely ship.
If it hadn't been for your mother, I would have lost her.
How could you lose the tiki?
One of my consignees defaulted on a cargo about a year ago in Noumea.
What do you mean?
Well, a man who was supposed to take my shipment refused to pay for it. I was stuck with a cargo, not a cent, no way of collecting it. My monthly mortgage payment was overdue on the tiki. I was counting on the cargo to pay for it.
Oh, how awful.
Well, it could have been. They were ready to repossess her. Your mother loaned me the money.
Well, I know she would always stand by her friend.
She hardly knew me at the time. It was an act of faith and trust on her part.
You know, it seems strange. You know my mother better than I do. To me, she's only an image put together from a few photographs and many letters.
I know you'll hit it off well together.
Tell me, does my mother live in a huge old house?
Not too huge, not too old. Properly aged. The right atmosphere. The house with dignity.
That's how I imagine Mother from her letters. A fine woman of dignity, moving through her great house surrounded by servants.
Yes? Are you sure it's the tiki? Very well, and thank you so much. Noonie, bring me my new hat and have the car brought around to the front door right away.
The police, Captain Duchamp.
Ah, Duchamp. I haven't time for you now. I must go to the harbor to meet a ship. My daughter's coming in from Paris today.
Madame, this will take only a few minutes of your time.
I can't even spare you that. I'm late now.
I have to ask you a few questions about a man named Martin Quirk.
Martin Quirk?
Yes, madame. I know that you are completely respectable, but your name is linked with his in my memory. At the present moment, we are seeking this man.
But is Martin Quirk here in Noumea?
We do not know. That is why I'm questioning you. You paid him a great deal of money in your Singapore days.
And I haven't seen him since then. As far as Martin Quirk's concerned, I'd see him roasted over live coals before I do so much as help him across the street. Now, if you'll excuse me, Duchamp, I'm very late.
Madame, if you will only identify this...
Some other time, Duchamp. Later.
Oh.
Minette, ma vestito. You're even more lovely than your photograph, darling. Thank you. You're even more... Yes? More human, I guess. More like my mother and less like a far-off guardian angel. Thank you, darling. That's the nicest thing you could have said.
Hey, Victorine. How are you?
Hello, Adam. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again, and thank you for bringing her home safely.
It's a pleasure. I rarely get such a lovely cargo.
Come along, both of you. The car's waiting.
Something wrong?
No, let's get to the car. Minette will be right down. Ring for tea, will you, Adam?
Tea?
Why, of course.
You know, every time I pull one of those things, I expect to hear a foghorn. Now, why tea? You serve the best drinks west of San Francisco.
As of now, you will kindly forget that fact. There'll be no liquor seen on the premises.
Oh, come on. Look, after all, the girl's coming from Paris. I suppose the French drink tea with their meals?
The French, as we all know, have their faults. Widows with growing daughters have none.
Victorine. We've known each other a little too long for that sort of thing. Remember one night you told me you were Miss Flossie Mulvaney of South Chicago.
My dear Captain Troy, I was never in Chicago.
Well, above all, I remember your telling me of a luxurious establishment in Singapore, of which you were the proprietress.
If such a place existed, and I deny it, then surely you must have been much too young to have ever been in it.
Now, seriously, Victorine, what about those things you've been writing Minette about her father?
Well, what about my dear husband?
As far as I know, the less said about him, the better, unless you can think of some kind word in his memory.
You know, he was a marvelous dancer.
As I remember, a miserable smoker. I'm surprised a woman of your judgment would have married such a man.
I needed a name for my daughter, and surely her father's name is the best one for her.
Yes, but all those things you wrote her about him.
I told her what I wanted to know, and that is all. Oh, Adam, I know I'm being silly, but I feel I must make a good impression on Minette, so please, bear with me. Is Minette about ready?
Oui, madame. She said she'll be down in a moment.
That will be all, Noumea. That girl acts like she's never seen anything but bourbon.
Now, Victorine, before Minette comes down, what happened at the dock?
Nothing special. What do you think of Minette?
I think she's a lovely girl. You have every reason to be proud of her. Now, answer my question.
What do you mean, Adam?
Back there on the dock, just after you met Minette, you saw something that frightened you half to death. You looked like somebody had stuck a knife in your ribs.
That's entirely too appropriate. He's very good at doing just that.
Who?
Martin Quirk's his name. I knew him in Singapore. A great many people knew him, including our local police chief.
Why are you afraid of him?
Because he's an evil man and he knows entirely too much.
You might be mistaken. It might just be a physical resemblance.
Oh, no. It was Quirk, all right. I could never forget that face. I'd know it anywhere. And I know he recognized me, too.
Why don't you notify the police?
No, I can't risk getting involved while Minette is here. She's the one that must be protected. Adam, will you help me?
All right, but how?
Stay with us for a few days and look after Minette. Just see that Quirk doesn't get near her.
All right. And if he shows up, let me know. But wouldn't it be better if you told Minette about yourself in the past?
I'm going to be very sure that my past doesn't ruin her future.
Freshly ground coffee.
That's lovely.
Well, let's have some. I want to be sure before I take 20 pounds to see.
Adam,
Mm-hmm.
what was my father like?
He was a fine man, so I've heard.
Oh, I know that. But what sort of person was he like to be around, to know? I mean, what was he like?
Well, your mother says that... Well, he was a man who knew the islands and loved them. And he loved the sea, too. The feel of his ship. Well, he was a ship captain.
But he was a good captain.
Would your mother have married a bad captain?
Oh, of course not. You know, sometimes I think my father must have been a man very much like you.
Well, I think he must have been quite different. For all, he was older. You know, your mother's been very happy since you came here.
And I'm glad. I want very much for her to love me.
I don't think there's anything you can do to make her stop.
When was I born?
Well, I'm not old enough to remember. Why don't you ask your mother?
I've asked her so many things, she never seems to answer me. You know, I think perhaps her memory's not very good.
one for me while you're at it, Flossie girl.
I didn't hear you ring, Martin.
They don't put doorbells on windows.
You haven't changed. Help yourself to a teacup.
Well, I don't mind if I do. Oh, better leave the bottle out.
Definitely not. I'm expecting someone soon, and you'll be gone when they arrive. State your business.
Looks like you've done all right. Not bad for no.
Say your piece and get out of here, Quirk.
You don't seem too happy to see me, Flossie.
Well, I had hoped some public-spirited citizen had done away with you by now.
Well, they've tried often enough.
Or at the very least, I thought you'd be growing old gracefully in solitary confinement somewhere.
Ah, now we're getting close to my problem.
I'm not surprised. Where did you escape from?
Macau the last time, but they're hot after me.
They can't touch you here on French soil.
And the word's gone around. The French and the Dutch have warrants to pick me up.
You've managed to make a lot of enemies, but for you, that's easy.
All in the line of business. I never yet killed a man for personal reasons.
Congratulations. Well, I wish the police the best of luck. Now you can leave the way you came. Good night, Martha.
Not so fast, Flossie girl. You're going to give me money enough to get out of this jam and to get back home.
Home?
To Ireland. To Dublin. That's where I grew up.
Oh, happy childhood memories. Rolling drunken sailors for shillings.
Well, you're not so far wrong at that. It'll take 2,000 quid to get me there.
2,000?
Oh, I want a third in francs and the rest in sterling.
I've always detested you, Quirk, as a mean, ignorant, cruel gutter snipe, but until now I had no idea that you were insane.
You'll get the money from me, all right. Remember the old days in Singapore.
All too vividly.
You did some awfully odd things with currency in them days. A lot of money changed hands illegally. You might even say it was smuggled.
I never smuggled currency. My clients paid me in various kinds of money. I simply exchanged it at the most favorable rate. And any fool knows you can't do that at a bank.
Oh, Flossie. Favorable rate.
Well, Mother, how do I look?
Fine, fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't know you had company.
It's rather a surprise visit. This is an old business acquaintance, Mr. Johnson, my daughter Minette.
Well, good evening, miss.
How do you do?
Your mother and I was just talking over old times. We used to do some business together in Singapore. Only the years have been kinder to her.
Well, I thought you said we never lived in Singapore.
It was so long ago I'd forgotten until Mr. Johnson reminded me.
Well, then you must have known my father, Captain Reynaud.
Oh, indeed I did, miss. Oh, I knew quite a lot about him.
Oh, that must be Adam.
Oh, well, don't keep him waiting, darling. Men hate that. I'll get the wraps in the closet. And don't bother about the time. I know it, and I won't worry.
Daughter. I never knew. Too bad she had to leave. I could have told her so much about her dear old pa. Or about you, for that matter.
Just leave her out of this. I'll get you the money.
How'd you do it, Flossie? How'd you raise the...
I said I'd get you the money.
Only, the price has gone up. I want 5,000 quid.
5,000?
Not more than a third of it in francs. And I want it right away.
I haven't got that kind of money. I'll have to sell my bonds. Try to mortgage this property. Getting the pound notes will be awkward.
Well, there's a Fraser leaving in 2 days for Ireland. For cash, I can be on it.
I'll get you the money as soon as I can. I have no desire to prolong your stay here in Noumea.
Fine. Fine. A daughter. Ta-ta, Mama.
All right. He was here, I admit it. But he only showed up last night.
Why do I have to pry it out of you? I told you if there was anything I could do to let me know, and I'd take care of him.
Well, how did you know? Annette, what did she say? Did she know anything was wrong?
Well, she knows he's an ugly customer, and she wonders what he's doing around here, making you nervous.
She won't have to see him again. I'll be rid of him tomorrow.
How are you going to manage that?
5,000 pounds.
Well, that's nearly $15,000. You can't afford to throw your money around like that.
I know that only too well, but I can't do anything else.
Well, you can't start by paying...
Keep your boss down. The room is right up there.
You can't get rid of a blackmailer by paying him off.
But he has to leave Noumea. The police are hot after him. It's worth the money to get him out of here.
If he's wanted, why not let the police handle it right now?
You don't seem to realize that Quirk is not a petty thief who can be eliminated by a phone call. If the police do manage to catch him, then he'll yell his head off about things I want to keep quiet.
All right. But how long do you think you can live behind these lies?
She doesn't realize what's wrong, does she?
No. She realizes that things aren't right between you two.
Then that's even more reason why I need your help. I have to see certain people about raising money, and rather not do it openly. Will you take me where I need to go?
All right. What about Minette?
I've already told her we'd be away on business for the afternoon. You see, I counted on you.
Mooney? Mooney?
Tell your mother I want her.
She isn't here. She hasn't come home yet. Honestly, there's no one here but me.
Good. Where is your old lady?
My mother went out this afternoon.
Where to?
I don't know.
Where to?
I heard her talking to Adam. That's a friend of ours. She said something about raising some money, selling some bonds.
You're positive?
She asked Adam to drive her instead of taking the chauffeur.
Did she mention anything about the police?
No, not that I heard.
Good. How's your memory?
Very good.
Let's try it. 17 Rue Grenelle. Got it?
17 Rue Grenelle.
Tell her to deliver the package there tomorrow.
Package.
Oh, she'll know what I mean. Tell her tomorrow. No later.
Tomorrow, 17 Rue Grenelle.
Oh, you're a smart little girl. I'd hate to see anything bad happen to you. But it could, if that package isn't delivered. Be sure to tell your mother that. Tomorrow.
I left Victorine in the car. Here's the money. We want it exchanged as quickly as possible. Did you find her?
She's there in the back room. Our best bet, too, from what I can pick up.
All right, let's go.
You wanted to see me?
Are you Madame Liu Yang?
Yes.
I'm Madame Troy.
So I've been informed. What is it you want of me?
Business.
Your business or my business?
Money.
Money? That is a commodity I do not give away.
I'm sure you don't. There are 3 million French francs there.
3 million francs. That is much money.
I want it converted into English pound notes.
Ooh, there are banks that do that.
There are authorities connected with banks.
Is the money stolen?
I can assure you it is not. Now, do you have this much in English pounds, or am I talking to the wrong Madame Liu Yang?
There is only one Madame Liu Yang. Mr. Troy, I own establishments from Bangkok to Tahiti. Noumea is just one stop in my enterprises that encompass the whole of the Pacific. 3 million francs. That is exactly 2,184 pounds, 14 shillings and sixpence. No, Mr. Troy. If you've come to me instead of going to the bank, you must have a reason.
I have. The person I'm representing is...
You're not speaking for yourself?
No.
I do not deal with messengers.
Let's call me an interested friend.
Who are you acting for? I want to know.
She said you might.
Who said?
Victorine Reynaud.
Flossie Mulvaney? Is she in trouble?
Let's say she's in a difficult situation.
Flossie. That was many years. Many years since the old days in Singapore. Once she helped me out of a difficult situation. Mr. Troy, you may take the pound notes. My commission. I'm sure Flossie will understand.
I'm sure she will.
Thank you for helping me raise the money, Adam.
Well, I still don't think you're doing the right thing.
Many people told me that when I gave you the money for the tiki last year.
Well, that was different.
It was.
That's the only reason I'm willing to go along with you now. Because I owe it to you.
For whatever the reason, I thank you.
Good night.
Mother to hear she's inside. That man was here again tonight while you and Mother were gone, the one called Johnson.
What did he want?
He told me to deliver a message to Mother. He threatened me.
What was the message?
He told me to tell Mother to deliver the package tomorrow, no later, or something bad would happen to me.
Anything else?
Well, I asked what package. He said Mother would know. Oh, he asked about the police, if Mother had mentioned them. Adam, what is all this? I'm sure something is terribly wrong.
Did he tell you where to take the package?
17 Rue Grenelle.
You sure?
Yes, he made me repeat it. Adam, what is this? Why can this man threaten us?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
Adam! Adam!
Lynette. What are you doing up at this hour?
Well, I might ask you the same question.
Come, darling, it's getting late. Let's go to bed.
No. Not until I get some answers. Why do you refuse to tell me about this man?
My darling child, there's nothing to tell. He's a merchant to whom I owe some money.
Try to cross me, will you? Where's the money?
In the safe behind the picture.
Go on, get it. Over here, girl. Come on, quick. Well, I thought I'd finished you. Your skull must be harder than I thought. Too bad you made me do it the hard way, Flossie.
You've got your money, now get out of here.
Oh, no. No, not until I tell your little girl a few interesting facts. Like the fact that her old man was a rum-soaked smuggler that got shot in the back by one of his own crewmen who hated him. Now, don't be a dead hero. Why kill yourself to save a cheap dame that got rich running a Singapore dive?
Mother? Mother? Adam? Adam? Mother? Mother?
Welcome to the tiki, Madame Reynaud, mademoiselle.
That's enough of that, Adam. From now on, I'm just being myself. She knows everything now. Somehow she likes me just the same.
Oh, I love her. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. In a week, it'll be better.
In a week, you'll be in Paris.
That's right.
Well, what are we waiting for? The sooner you get us to Fiji, the sooner we can catch the plane.
All right, let's go for a sail. Hit the engine, Oliver. We've got a plane to catch in Fiji.
Aye.
Cast off the bow line. Cast off the stern line. I'll take a last look at Noumea.
It doesn't make me sad at all. Thank you, Adam, for all your help.
Well, thank you, Victorine.
Just call me Flossie.